It has been 57 days since Chris last begged for money. It has been 340 days since Chris last uploaded pages to meet his paid obligations to the Sonichu comic. It has been 4,000 days since Chris last applied for a job. My name is GiBi, and I will be taking you on a tour through this week's Chris Chan Weekly Update. We begin where else but on Twitter. User ObsessoKnight has begun animation on a new Sonichu project. They call it Sonichu Z, and they tweeted out a short test animation. Chris found it and responded in a very positive manner. "You mind sharing that animation concept with me, dude?" ObsessoKnight was very surprised that Chris actually found their idea, and said that they would want Chris to voice a character in it. Chris said, "Yes, that sounds good. I can record my voice for the video." Fantastic! Thanks a ton, and I hope you have a great weekend. I'll let you know when that phase starts. Send me a DM and I'll send you the phone number to text us at. That us is obviously referring to the fact that Chris currently believes he is still being possessed by Sonichu. So this project is at least something we can continue to look forward to updates on in the future. If you don't play Pokemon Go, you might not be aware that Mega Evolutions were recently added to the game. There's a huge controversy around this because of the amount of time and in-game objects that it takes to Mega Evolve your Pokemon, and the fact that it's only for a limited time. So Chris decides to weigh in his 2 cents. Hey y'all, just a moment to go on topic with Mega Evolutions and Pokemon Go raids. I'm also a fan of FLW videos on YouTube, very informative in regards to the app, raids, and the deep dives of individual Pokemon for future use. I also watched his recent commentary on the Mega Evolved raids loop, even commented quoting Charles Schultz. I've observed the benefit of the Mega Evolved boost that there is when you have that one evolved Pokemon in your queue. It's kind of weird. So remember, this is Sonichu talking, and canonically Sonichu himself is capable of Mega Evolution, and has in the past. Also to note, the limited time expanded duration for the oh my god. The limited time expanded duration for the evolution from 4 to 12 hours, and this month only remote raid pass 3 packs for 1 Pokecoin. That's just not a full sentence. If you don't know Pokemon Go stuff and you're not following, originally when it was announced, Mega Evolutions, you would have to spend these special Mega Candies that are hard to get, and then your Pokemon would only be Mega Evolved for 4 hours. Apparently they've upped that to 12 hours. They're also offering the special in-game item for only 1 coin, mostly because of COVID. Chris continues, or Sonichu continues. I'll be in it for the legendaries, but I will be collecting the Mega Energy as well, especially since Cresselia is the legendary of the month. I have come to my own plan and conclusion of the proper timing of when to Mega Evolve one Pokemon for the best benefits. It will be when I go out for our weekly raid hunts. I choose which to evolve on the planned raids to encounter. For example, with Cresselia's psychic typing, I can plan out a high-level team or 2 of bug types with specifically bug moves, and then upon going out, in addition to activating a bunch of star pieces, Mega Evolve the Beedrill. Then, with that boost, rather or not I include it on the team, and with everyone I get to invite, the legendary raids will go very quick. Again, that's just more Pokemon stuff. He's saying that there's going to be a lot of Cresselias this month, and Bug type would be super effective against it, so he's going to Mega Evolve his Beedrills when he wants to go and fight in the raid battles. The multi-fruit flavored rare candies and the Stardust are the greater goals, so we can have the leveled up best on the app. Just my 2 bolts for now. In the remaining time for this timeline, all of you who play Pokemon Go, do enjoy yourself in raiding out. Oh, just realize that this plan is also effective against Mega Venusaurs as well, Grass being weak to Bug. Multiple people are asking him questions about quote-unquote real Mega Evolution, and he's just ignoring them. Chris then tweeted on September 4th a live stream of him reacting to the 4th episode of the My Little Pony Analysis Anarchy Red vs. Blue. But before we get to that, there's a couple more things we gotta talk about. You see, we are continuing the trend of Chris answering Q&As on Discord, again, in the in the voice of Sonichu, because that's who he's being controlled by. So we have this audio of Chris talking to his friends, or the Watchmen, which is a group of white knights. And it's also transcribed, so I'm going to read the important parts. Somebody asked what types of music Chris's father, Bob, liked, specifically if he liked rock and roll, and Chris says, "No, Mr. C. He was mainly into jazz and the classics." I'm not going to read it like that. I'm just going to read it as if he spoke goodly. He was not into country or pop or rock and roll type of thing. We had classical blues, jazz, boogie woogie. I mean, you could essentially get a grasp on, like, you know, if you consider classical classics, like, you know, Mozart and that sort of thing, being the, like, you know, the oldest, the earliest form of music. And then you get progressive and higher. You could say Mr. C's taste in music was about as high as you like. You know, somewhere in the 40s or 50s. Mr. C's music was as high as you like. You know, the oldest form of music, Mozart. Chris also says that he has fewer than 100 of Bob's old record collections remaining. Bob used to be a disc jockey at a radio station, so he had an enormous collection of records, and it seems like they don't have many left. Chris also says that his favorite Pokemon game is either Ruby, Sapphire, or Emerald, and he eventually settles on Emerald being the best of that generation. The Watchman asked Chris which of his past trolls he would want to meet in person, if any, and Chris said he would like to meet the person who pretended to be Clyde Cash. This is a very interesting question. They ask, "What do you want to be remembered as, and what do you think you will be remembered as?" Chris says, remembering that this is Sonichu talking, and I'm going to quote him verbatim here. I guess Mama. I guess for Mama, if, well, she wants to be remembered as, for who she is, you know, for her life so far, and still ongoing. She's, essentially living on forever, and this body's living forever, by the way, you know that. But Liv, she would probably want to be remembered as kind, positive person. She always has been and always meant to be. And that's despite every single negative that was inadvertently or mistakenly done by her, or said by her, and taken out of context, and whatever else. She just wants to be remembered for everything that's true and positive about her, really. And, also the literal goddess that she is. And of course, for all her art and books and all that. So when asked what Chris wants his legacy to be, he, of course, has to restate that he's going to live forever, and then says that he wants to be remembered as a kind person, even though he never was one, and then, of course, for his art and Sonichu comic books. Chris, once again, restates that his favorite movie is Mary Poppins. Chris's favorite Pixar movie is Toy Story. Chris says that his favorite DreamWorks movie is the Bumblebee movie. The other people in the call think that he's talking about B-movie, because, you know, that's actually a DreamWorks movie. But, Chris is actually talking about the movie Bumblebee. Chris says that he regrets his past hatred of gay men, but says that he was, at the very least, justified in doing so because all of his trolls in the past were gay men. So you might remember from Sonichu issue 10 that Chris uses time travel and his pure straight blood to create a vaccine that gets rid of homosexuality. He then put that vaccine in the water supply so that everybody on Earth would be straight. Chris then obviously has to retcon this when he has a bunch of gay characters in the future. He's saying that because Magi-chan always knew that Chris would end up being bisexual, he actually destroyed all of the gay vaccine and never actually put it in the water, all except the part that they put inside a syringe that was injected into Nate Cirque. So that's actually Chris. That's a good explanation, a good retcon that we didn't have before. Chris then says that he wishes that the real Chris Chan, because remember he's Sonichu, would finally finish his quest, collect the power cubes, and come back in time to April 10th, 2020, so that Sonichu could return to his own body because he misses his speed, and of course, he misses being in the same dimension as Rosechu. Also, he says that Brendan Fraser is doing a good job as the mayor of Quickville. Also this week, a user on the Kiwi Farms was able to find court documents relating to Chris being arrested for trespassing, and we can see that Chris signed his name as Chris Chan Sonichu. Now you can see that his writing is very shaky here. The first comment under this says, "His signature looks like he can't keep his hand still. There's a condition of that, I don't know what it is." And then the person below that says it might be Parkinson's. It's not. If you look at Chris's Sonichu logo on his comic book, you'll see that he always writes the word Sonichu like this. He thinks that this is like a very stylized font. So him writing his name like this is basically him just adding lightning bolts to letters. Like the I in Chris is a literal lightning bolt. So yeah, he's literally writing his name as Sonichu now. If you've been following the story of Chris, you know that he is in debt a lot of money for credit card bills. Well, apparently he had to return to the courts this week. On September 2nd, he posted, "My day has been long yet well enough." What? "Barb reminded me of another court date with one of the debt collectors that was going on this morning. So we went to the courthouse and updated that. The monthly payments on that continued and have been made in keeping up with it." I swear, he just cannot coherently write a sentence. "Alarm was set for 8:30, so being up longer than normal of recent days. After getting back home, it was yet another dimensionally eventful, yet locally chilled day. Last night, though, while I was mostly asleep, the energy and power went up in a sequence of eventful vibrations and mild shake-ups. I do believe we are getting ever more close to when this body and I are finally safe and well in Sewa 97 with everyone, and can make our way to Quickville. Even while that was going on for what felt like a half to full hour or so, and I did check the Fitbit data this morning, it still registered as actual sleep and rest. Event the heart rate during the time frame was still as spot on in that regard. Also, yesterday, the Flame Toys Optimus Prime model kit I pre-ordered a couple months ago finally arrived, and I put it together. It's the G1 version." So he's saying that during the night there was some sort of a big psychic activity that he believes is a sign of the merge, and yet when he looked at his Fitbit, it looks like he was just asleep. You can draw your own conclusions from that as you will. Also, this Flame Toys Optimus Prime, the only thing I can find on Google is that it would be worth about $50, and so he bought this toy on the same day that he had to go to court to pay off his thousands of dollars in debt, so that's great. We also have Bumblebee and the Shattered Glass Attack Mode anime-style Optimus Prime figures of that series. Also, and you may share this as well, there will still be a dimension merge in this timeline, but it will be executed personally by the Chris Chan Sonichu of the neighboring timeline dimension of 1214. That's the one who took over Chris's body last week and answered some questions. Wherein, at that time, I will be on my way to prepping to get this body fully unlocked of its abilities and powers, and then go back home in time to prevent this pandemic. And after the wait in the vehicle for until being called in for our specific court date, I'm feeling even more tired of this timeline. That's all for now. I pray your day is going well and good for you. Stay safe." So yeah, he still wants to just go back in time and prevent everything from happening. It is interesting now that he's putting the responsibility for the dimensional merge on a different version of Chris Chan. That's interesting. Obviously, he's been Sonichu since April, so he's now like 3 layers removed, because there's like the real Chris Chan, there's the fictional Chris Chan, there's Sonichu, who's possessing, as we know, not real version of Chris, and then there's a different dimension version of Chris who's now responsible for everything. It's quite confusing. According to the Quickie, Chris owes $2,773.56 to one of his creditors and $905.36 to the other, which is almost $3,000. And of course, he just bought toys. On September 4th, Chris uploaded a video of Barb to prove to people that she was alive. Later that day, he was going to be live streaming the newest episode of the Brony Analysts Team Fortress videos, and since so many people always ask if Barb is alive in those in the chat, he decided to just preemptively make a video about her.
My name is Barbara Channing. I'm doing fine. What do you want to know?
Ask questions in the comments below or wherever to my associates, yada yada. And come on, say something else.
I don't know what else there to do. I'm doing fine. That's all I can say. Thank you for being interested.
Because Chris is Chris, the comments are turned off on this video where he told people to leave comments asking questions. So now we're going to look at the highlights of Chris's live stream.
Hey everybody, Sancha here, coming to you live from home once again for another streaming video where we're gonna respond to Analysis Anarchy Part 4. And all donations to the super chat are greatly appreciated, so thank you. Still Sancha here. It's not your Christian. It's me, Sancha, the prime of the species. Yep, hello. So, on my mind, too much on my mind. I mean, this is the show where you learn, where pretty much you have so much on your mind. You can have so much on your mind, and you're constantly in things in process, and yet at the same time, there's nothing on your mind. It's an oxymoron. Yeah.
Okay, so that was just general Chris Chan mumbling and stuff that we've grown to accept from him. But he's about to claim that in past videos where he's speaking along with the video he's watching, that's because he's actually proving to us that he has seen that video before by being psychically connected to other timelines. That's the same claim that he made during the Leftovers Tonight podcast when he claimed to be able to sing along to music that he'd never heard before, and then promptly sang after the lyrics.
I mean, I've done my visual reactions to all three of the previous parts to Red versus Blue, and y'all are witness to me having literally go in time to their speech more or less, because I literally have seen it all before. This body, this mind, this brain, this body, it all has, because multiple timelines and such. I mean, what's left of this timeline I'm still doing, and I'm still putting, so I'm here, doing this thing.
Chris is about to say that he's entitled to a shout-out from the Brony Analysts because he, Sonichu, is going to all of this effort to react to their videos on Chris Chan's behalf.
I mean, of all the people that, the analysts, I'm not going to drop any names, because I give them this good content, and they're not even giving it an honorable mention. I mean, I've done this on behalf of Mama Chris Chan, on her behalf. And what? I mean, I'm still gonna do it for the remaining 3 parts, counting this one. But I'm like, hey, guys, analysts, come on. Could do with at least an honorable mention, guys. I mean, what? Is Chris Chan too famous? Have y'all feel like, hey, if we talk about Chris Chan, then we're gonna get trolled? That's not gonna be the case, because, everybody gets trolled. And the way you handle it, just as Mama has told y'all, and as personal experience, time and time again, just ignore the trolls, ignore the bullies, ignore the comments. Come on.
Chris is about to tell off his chat for mentioning Barb when he just uploaded a video about her.
You have no reason to ask about Barbara, because that's her. She's okay, she's safe, she's well, and she's not being held hostage either, so shut the hell up, you fucking haters! Wow, closer to time than I thought. I mean, 8 minutes to go.
The quick change in emotion that he just did is kind of terrifying. Also, he's about to claim that he's immortal.
Sunlight, sun bright. Why is the starry sun so bright? Just this whole body, it's numb. It's been numb for months. It's been feeling numb for months. So I ain't hurting, no pain, lots of stress, and I'm still alive and fine. This is literally an immortal body that's staying alive for a long time. Like thousands of years and so on, or beyond that. Infinity. Definitely for the remainder of this timeline.
So now he's going to talk about how he's going to be Sonichu until he's able to go back in time to April so that he can go to BabsCon.
Well, yeah, seriously, I mean, anybody that wants to talk about Mama, or me, Sonichu, I'm still here, remainder of this timeline, to want to go back in time with this body to prevent this freaking coronavirus from ever happening, and finally deliver this body to Mama at BabsCon last April. It's gonna happen. It's happening. Along with the remaining Dimension Merge, it's gonna happen for whatever time's left in this timeline, so, yeah, go nuts. Oh my Christian, why am I still here in this dimension? Why am I not in Quickville yet? Ah!
And now he's going to talk about being Sonichu and all of his regrets.
I need to be in the same dimension as Rose. I must be in the same dimension as Rose. It's running at max speed. You don't know how racing it has been since for the last 6 months. I was a sample Pikachu, and then I had to get I had to get collide with Super Sonic Senpai, and all that. I was a wild Pokemon. Yeah. 3'5" and running faster than Mach speed and all that. So, and everything that happens over the years has been a slow process, but I had Rosie along the way help out, and that was totally awesome.
So the premiere is actually about to start, and Chris is going to mouth along to it to prove his psychic abilities to us.
I'm glad you asked that, good doctor, because I'd like to take this time to explain my evil plan.
What?
What?
Okay, so Chris was both surprised by what just happened, which is obviously impossible if he knows what's going to happen if he's psychically connected. So he said, what? Because he's like, oh, what happened? But then the next word spoken in the show was the character saying the word what, which would actually be evidence for Chris being able to know what the next word is about to be. So that's just a little unfortunate. Anyway, here's what you came for. Here's Chris making random sounds montage.
My way! Ah! Evil! Evil! Boing! Boing! Evil! Evil! Boing! Boing! Well, that was awesome. That was a good show. Alright, so with that done, that episode done, guess I'm actually praying to Christian. I pray to you, Mama. Get me to Quickville now. I'd like this timeline to be over within the next month. I'd like to be in Quickville within the next few days. Mama Christian, you hear me? Please help me out with that. Alright, I'm even doing the world about this. This is so frustrating. Alright, anyway, aside from that, everyone else, thank you all for your donations and commentaries and talks amongst yourselves today. So, I'm just listening and yada yada yada. Have a good and safe day.
So Chris saying that he wants to return to Quickville within the next month is a little concerning, since we know that it's not gonna happen. So that's something that I will make sure to keep my eye on in the upcoming updates. Also, Jacob Sockness DM'd me for the first time in a while. At least his insults are getting better. Thank you for watching. This has been quite the eventful week. I hope to see you very soon with my next episode of Chris's short stories, which will be on Bionic the Hedgehog.